Hey guys, just us again, the old and the new. Uh, we just wanted to add some more stuff because people have been asking us questions. We just want to make sure we answer them all. Sometimes truthfully, sometimes not. But it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyways, today is, what day is it today?
Thursday?
Thursday afternoon. Got an hour and then I got to go to a meeting, so we just thought we'd say hi and answer some of those questions. What was one of the big questions we were asked? Well, everyone keeps wondering how she puts up with me. Well, it's simple. Come on, cripe. What's there to put up with? What she's saying is yes. Most of the time, there's a halo above my head. Not sainthood, but, well, hey, what the hell?
You were a good little Catholic boy.
I was an altar boy. I was
yeah.
born and raised in Skowhegan. My mom died at the age of 36, where I was taken over by my grandmother, and she raised me.
Good old Meme.
Good old Meme. That's about it. I spent my childhood a little spoiled.
Nothing.
And of course, Caitlin wasn't spoiled. She was raised as a normal young lady.
I don't know about normal.
Okay. Dysfunctional young lady. But
Yeah.
she turned out pretty damn good. All right, well, just another question was, how do I put up with her? Well, it's pretty darn simple because she's young, she's beautiful, she's talented, very intelligent. So you can see, I mean, come on, we're made for each other. That wasn't, she didn't really mean that. We lay in bed at night and we can't tell you that, but we do, and we joke, and she laughs most of the night, and I fall asleep middle of sentences, but never, I love you. I finish that statement before we go to sleep and close our eyes.
That's about the only one. We've been mid-conversation, and then he'll ask me a question, and I'll go to answer, and I'll look over, and he's already... Just like that. You can't make it up. It's beautiful.
Which does remind me, Caitlin does the worst imitations of me, and she does them all the time. I do not lay like...
Do I need to add a photo in so they can see?
No, because if you add a photo, they're going to see all that wet drool. We don't want to embarrass you, young lady.
I ain't scared of my drool. I think it's funny.
I think it's funny, too. It just adds to the slip and slide.
Yeah. You would go there.
As often as possible.
Wow.
Catching a few.
Now, I was attracted to Scott not because of what I saw on the exterior, but what I saw on the inside. That's what I find attractive about people. And for obvious reasons, he was so much older than me that never even crossed my mind. Until much later. I had met him in February, and he was wearing long sleeve sweaters and, like jackets and long shirts and stuff like that. So I never really got to see like what his body looked like. So that kind of thing like never even crossed my mind. And he had asked me after a while when we started dating, what do you see in an old guy like me? And I looked at him without even a hesitation, and I pointed right at his forehead, and I pointed right at his heart. I didn't have to say a word. He knew exactly what I meant. I did not fall in love with him because of what he looked like or what, I saw, his work or his money, anything like that, because he doesn't really have any. But I fell in love with him for who he was, because he had the same passion for music that I did. Because we were funny and silly and we get along so well and we're on the same page with everything, that's what attracted me to him. That's what I found attractive. However, it wasn't until summertime when I actually got to see what was underneath the clothing facade, where I was like, damn, that boy is a marble cut of prime beef, okay? For real. I had no idea the guy worked out, okay? Helps with diabetes. I didn't know any of this stuff. And I come to band practice and he's wearing a black tank top, okay? I walk in, I kind of like look at him and then like, I'm like, whoa, do like a triple take. I'm like, damn. Okay, as a woman, I am seriously attracted to guys who have nice built arms. Not big, muscly, gross, like fake stuff, but like nicely built. Prime beef, let me just tell you. And I like could not stop looking at his arms that night. I'm like, oh my god, like that is so, to me it's so sexy. I love that. Now he may be a well-seasoned, aged prime rib, but what's wrong with that? That's the best kind. I mean, come on. He may be 30 plus more years age than I am, but that never scared me away. Now, I will add in a couple of photos so you can see my hunky husband in his tank top playing his guitar. Now, I know it's very attractive and he's handsome and blah, 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 but ladies, he's mine. So sorry. But I'll add him in for your viewing meat candy pleasure. I would like to tell you a little story about the first summer in the band when my husband literally tried to kill me. We were playing an outdoor event and it was from like noon to 3 out in the beating sun on pavement, no covering. We ended up playing longer than 3 hours and we take at least a good hour and a half to set up. So we were outside for minimum 6 hours. It was 96 degrees, like 90% humidity. It was awful. And the day before, my husband's like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. Just put a little sunscreen on, drink plenty of water, you'll be fine. Okay. Before I joined the band, I hadn't even been outside in like years, okay? I was like pasty pale. And he knew this. And I'm like, I gotta be very careful. I get rashes in the sun. Oh, you'll be fine. Yeah. Later that night, I start getting all like itchy on my stomach, my leg, and it just progressively gets worse. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. Like I'm having a serious reaction. This is awful. And then I noticed my eyeballs started feeling like funny and like just weird and blotchy. So my husband, being the doll that he is like, oh, I'll get you some Epsom salts. I'll put it in the bath. You can lay in the bath. It'll help. It'll be all good. You'll be fine. Yeah, okay. Well, it does help. Wasn't pleasant, but it helped. We go to bed because I feel like I'm dead. When I get up the next morning, oh my god. I was so swollen up. It looked like the worst case of Botox you've ever seen in your life, okay? My eyeballs, I'm like, it was horrible. Even my forehead was like puffed out like an alien. It was unbelievable. So my husband's already at work when I get up and I text him and I'm like, I am like all puffed up and I feel really bad. This is really not good. And he's like, take a Benadryl. It will help with your reaction. And I'm like, I never taken anything before. I'm like, I don't really know how I feel about it. Well, it got to the point where I couldn't even walk because my feet were so swollen. It felt like they were going to split open. Hands like sausages, okay? Couldn't bend them. And like my throat was starting to swell. It was really bad. So finally I'm like, okay, I pop a Benadryl. Thank God. It took care of the itching because I was itching nonstop. And the swelling started to go down a tiny bit, okay? I literally couldn't not take the Benadryl because as soon as it started to wear off, my throat would start to swell. I'd start to lose my voice. And everything would just... It was horrible. It was the worst experience. I would not wish it on my worst enemy. It took 5 days to get better. 5 days. Okay? The Benadryl totally knocked me out. I'm like all screwed up, like it was unbelievable.
Hello again. Earlier, I believe Caitlin was telling you about blaming me actually for the band job that we played extra long out in the sun, and Caitlin did get sun poison. It was horrible, but it was kind of funny. But anyway, she did forget to mention one part of that story. When she took the Benadryl and she got loopy or whatever, well, I came home that night, and of course, I love to cook supper, and back then we ate very healthy, but salad is still a big part of our life. So we were sitting at the couch eating, And I looked over at Caitlin at one point, and she just attempted to take a bite of her salad. Now, she was probably, you know, the little virgin to any kind of medication. She probably had half, maybe a whole Benadryl. I looked at her, and I can't remember the question I asked her. I think it was something like, you know, how's your salad? And her exact words were, while salad was falling out of her mouth and on to her chest, which actually stayed there quite well. And I just called that my personal salad bar.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a bad day.
Yeah, it was
a bad day.
And since then, when the band gets offered to play extra, I check with her first. Of course, it doesn't matter if she says yes or no. We're going to play anyways, because we absolutely love it. And that's our life together.
And we have a tent now.
We do. We have 2 tents if we need it. We have sunscreen with us. We have bug spray. We have all that stuff. But our passion is music. So if we're out there playing in front of people and they ask for more, we're going to give them as much as we can. So hopefully me and Caitlin can throw a video on sometime if you can bear to listen. We'll do one of my favorite songs. And we won't mention that right now, but you'll hear it later.
Yeah.
Hey, if this is the end of the beginning, you guys have a great night.